Want to get lit just like the fireworks in the sky this 4th of July?
Woo! Hell yeah!
Let's check out some red, white, and blue cocktails to celebrate Independence Day here in the good old US of A. Let's start our lineup of 4th of July drinks with a riff on the Last Word cocktail. I'm going to make a redneck version of the Last Word. I'll call it the Last Mortar, since so many people enjoy blowing things up to celebrate America's birthday.
Hey, don't be shooting them Roman candles near my Mustang.
The Last Word is usually made with equal parts gin, green chartreuse, Luxardo, and lime juice. It's one of my favorite equal parts cocktails. To make it blue, I'm going to kick out the green chartreuse and replace it with Bomb Pop Moonshine. I'm also going to use a cheap gin, New Amsterdam.
I love a good cheap gin.
I'd recommend using a higher end gin if you make the original Last Word with the very difficult to find green chartreuse. I'm going to put in 1 ounce each of my ingredients, so I'm going to start out with the gin. Like I said, I'm using a cheap one. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, and if you're looking at some budget cocktails, I have a video about how to start a home bar for only $100, so check that out if you like a bargain. And then next I'm going to add an ounce of the Junction 35 Bomb Pop Moonshine. I usually treat these flavored moonshines as liqueurs, so if I swap out something in a recipe for it, I usually swap it out for a modifying liqueur. And just like the original, an ounce of Luxardo and an ounce of lime juice. I forgot to make the 1-inch cubes I usually use for shaking, so I'm just going to use a sphere for this one. There's our last mortar. Next up we have the Marksman. We need a red cocktail to go with our blue one. This one will get its red color from Cheerwine syrup and cherry moonshine. By the way, if you're interested in more 4th of July cocktails with moonshine, check out my video of moonshine cocktails for the 4th of July. Of course, for the Marksman, we're going to start out with 1.5 ounces of Maker's Mark Bourbon, a brand new bottle, and I specifically picked this one because I like the way the wax looked on it. And I'm going to do 3/4 of an ounce of this Old Forge Distillery Wild Cherry Moonshine. Now, normally I would probably use something more bitter like Campari or Aperol, but if I'm making this for a crowd who's not into the bitter stuff, I'm going to use something like this, and it also has an even brighter red color, so I just thought it would be kind of fun for this one. We'll do 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice, 1/2 ounce of lime juice. We'll use 1/2 ounce of Cheerwine syrup. If you don't have it, you can use Grenadine, or you can get this on the Cheerwine website. And finally, I'm going to put a few drops of Tiki Bitters. Okay, I'm going to shake this one with some pebble ice. Just like a quick shake. And I will just pour it, ice and all, over a little more pebble ice in one of my favorite glasses. Another reason I decided to call this one the Marksman. Next up is our white drink, a coconut margarita that I'll call the Spangled Margarita. I've already decorated a glass with toasted coconut that I dyed red and blue. So I'm going to keep it really casual with this one and use this light up shaker. It's just like a plastic one, kind of more of a novelty shaker than I normally use, but it'll work. I'll start with 1.5 ounces of tequila. I'm using Espolon today. It's good for mixing, it's pretty reasonable, and like I said, this isn't a super fancy margarita, so it'll work perfectly. And then 1/2 ounce of Cointreau, or an orange liqueur of your choice. 1 ounce of lime juice. And I usually use agave nectar in a margarita, but I'm going to use this cream of coconut instead to give it the coconut flavor and the white color. And I'm going to put 3/4 of an ounce in the description, but I'm going to fill my jigger up like almost to the ounce line, because So it's hard to get it all out. Plus, you can make this as sweet or as not sweet as you want. So, you know, it's kind of up to you. And we're also gonna just shake this with pebble ice and serve it over pebble ice. I shook that one a little harder just to make sure that that coconut cream gets all incorporated into the cocktail. And there we have our Star-Spangled Margarita. There we have it, a red, white, and blue 4th of July cocktail. Well, let's give them a try. So I'm going to start out with the last mortar, our last word riff. So by getting rid of the green chartreuse and using the Bomb Pop Moonshine, it doesn't make it taste bad, but it definitely isn't as complex of a drink. This is 55% alcohol and it has like tons of herbal flavors to it. The monks keep those a secret. But this one, the Junction 35 Moonshine, it's only 35% alcohol and it's just like artificial raspberry and cherry flavors like you would get in a Bomb Pop popsicle. But I do actually think it's a halfway decent cocktail. So next up we'll try the Marksman. Now the first version I did of this, I basically did a jungle bird riff that had Campari in it, but some of the taste testers thought it was a little bitter for the typical crowd, so we went with the cherry moonshine. And it's still like really easy to drink. It has almost like a tiki vibe to it just because of the pineapple juice and the tiki bitters. And last but not least, I will try the Star-Spangled Margarita. This one's awesome. It's like a pina colada and a margarita got married. But really all I did was I made a margarita with cream of coconut instead of simple syrup or agave nectar. So I hope you enjoyed this lineup of 4th of July drinks enough to subscribe to this channel. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. If you still have all your fingers after your fireworks extravaganza,